it is a very proud moment for me, for India, that a very advanced technology company, I must say a boutique company in manufacturing, is going to start their journey in India. WEMO Machines. WEMO Machines established before 60 years in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. They came a very long way. They are going to celebrate their 60 years, and that is the time they decided to come to India. I know WEMO Machines do a lot of automation. I would like to know more about that, and for that we have in our PointNoted podcast our guest Jeff Hagelen, the CEO of WEMO Machines. Welcome to PointNoted podcast as well as to India.
Thank you very much.
Very interestingly, he came to India when he was at the age of
11.
Yeah. He had some nice memories, that was before how many years?
Yeah, that's also a little bit telling my age, but it's more than 30 years ago.
Okay, maybe before three decades.
Yes.
Okay, so
let's keep it like that.
There is a big transformation also in India.
Oh yes.
Happened over 30 years. A company which is giving very focused technology is coming to India, and let's find out more from Jeff on that.
It's a beautiful story out of the books where two very inventive people started a small company with a clear dream, a clear vision. If you look where we are now with WEMO, and if you look where we started with WEMO, it's a big contrast, a big development that took place in 6 decades. But it all started as a small tool punch maker for leather belts, as you just said, and that eventually evolved into making smaller punch units, initially manually operated, but later on automated, because automation already in the 50s and 60s and 70s was taking place. And those tools eventually also evolved into making full-fledged, highly automated bending lines for sheet metal. So starting in a small shed, small company, into a international, well-renowned name in 6 decades.
The foundation of WEMO, when it started, as you told, the punching.
Yeah.
And somewhere the business what you're doing today is related, right?
Correct. Yeah. Punching and bending, what we do is all integrated in our solutions. So in a lot of cases, the customers that we deliver solutions need punching and bending in one line. So the technology that we invented and optimized a couple of decades ago is now still part of the total solutions that we can deliver.
When we look at WEMO Automation as an organization offering different solutions, automation solutions, you spoke about complete assembly line.
Yeah.
So how can we look at the product portfolio of WEMO Automation?
The product portfolio is quite broad, yet it's also very focused. That sounds like a contradiction, but it really scales down to the fact that we are a special machine builder. So whatever problem a customer might have in creating an automated solution for their production process, we create a solution for them. And that could mean that a solution for one industry, let's say electrical cabinets, has a different solution from WEMO for, let's say, steel doors. So just to mention a couple of our core markets, it's electrical enclosures, it's steel doors, it's wall cladding, ceiling panels, shelving. So it's a big variety of products in essence, but if you look at the process that it needs high precision, high speed, high accuracy, and eventually also very limited man labor involved in the process. So high level of automation.
We are talking about metal forming.
Correct.
Any kind of metal forming for different products, as you told that the big doors or the big enclosures, that is where your products are used.
Correct.
For me to understand more about it, I have seen the bending machines, right?
Yes.
So metal sheet goes in and it takes different turns and we get a product out.
Correct. Yeah.
But maybe most of the time that are small products, what maybe I have seen. But you are talking about a completely different production line.
Correct.
Where you are telling that a complete steel door can be produced.
Created, yeah.
In a single time?
Yes, the big differentiator for our solutions is that we create line solutions. So instead of taking the traditional panel bending process where you have one sheet that's being fed into the machine and manipulated and then occupying the machine until it's finished and then being taken out, we create line solutions. So basically we break down the process of punching and bending into different stations, and we connect the stations behind each other. So we start from coil, or we start with a blank sheet, which is nothing happened with it yet, but from that point on we start making the punches, we transport it to the next station, we make the bends, we rotate it if necessary, we make another series of events in bends. We can actually integrate spot welding if we want, and the end product is a semi-finished or a finished product. And basically, to give you an indication, the takt time that we need for one station to finalize its movement, that's also the takt time in which every finished product will exit the complete line.
Okay, so if I'm able to picturize myself, a sheet which is flowing into the machine.
Correct.
Within a stipulated time, without the interference of a particular human.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You get a complete product.
Correct.
Okay.
Very easy.
That's very easy. And how do you think? I'm sure that you have customers worldwide.
Correct. We are worldwide active. Yeah.
Yeah. And such a big, like a complete automation solution, what you're talking about in completely different, industries. How do you think Indian market is ready for WEMO automation?
I think the Indian market is ready for our solutions because, first of all, it's a technology-driven industry, a country that has evolved so rapidly over the last decades. I remember when I was a small 11-year-old boy, my parents took me on a holiday here in India, and we traveled around, and I was amazed by the people, by the hospitality, the friendliness, but also the nature, but also the difference, the contrast between the Western world and India, if we talk about 30 years ago. Now being in India, you can see that this country has evolved very rapidly. The people are still warm, they're welcome, the hospitality is still there, which is very important. But the country is growing at a very rapid rate. New technologies are embraced, and also the level of automation that we can deliver with our solutions fit the phase where this country is in at this point. So it has a very distinctive reason that we now enter this market. I believe that India is the future in the world economy, and I believe that the solution that WEMO provides fit the demand for the future for a lot of big Indian companies.
As you told that there are so many of interesting insights what you shared right now on about our country, and we are so proud, I feel myself so proud that WEMO automation is coming to India. A company which believes in future.
Absolutely.
Of building future factories.
Yeah.
Now you told that if I will just take the example of a company which is making a door. One of the problem what we face is, okay, let me ask you, if I am having an assembly line of WEMO automation.
Yes.
How many doors I will be able to manufacture, just for my understanding?
To give you an impression, well, it depends of course of the complexity, but in general we can make a complete door every 30 to 40 seconds, meaning that a door consists out of a box and a cover. So we got an under part and a top part, which needs to be connected, but every 30 to 40 seconds a complete door can be produced.
So that means less than a minute.
Absolutely.
One door is ready.
Well under a minute. Yeah.
That means 60 doors on an average, maybe an hour, maybe more actually.
Yep.
Into 8 or 10. So we are talking about 600 to 1000 doors in a day.
Yes.
So it's also about the volume.
Yep.
We will be able to generate.
Correct.
And that is something, when it is interesting, I'm just trying to think about that. Standardization.
Yeah.
Can bring more opportunities for the domestic market.
Absolutely.
But that is also one challenge what we are facing, because we have always different sizes. There is standardization is something what we are always having challenging. We don't have a policy making today to bring that kind of standardization here.
Yeah.
I was there in Europe a couple of times, and I have seen that even a house which is built all are standardized.
Correct.
The house looks same. I don't know if it is the same builder, but same builder cannot build so much of. So there is a standardization in the outside world, but in India it is not there.
No.
So the people who are going for WEMO automation, the products, are those people who should be export oriented only, or do you think that in India itself there can be a domestic consumption is possible for a person who looks at WEMO automation?
Both are possible. Standardization from a manufacturer's perspective will lead to higher output, better quality, eventually more competitive pricing. If there's a really broad variety of products that you need to make every time that a customer places an order, it disturbs the manufacturing process immensely. So our solutions are actually built for enabling a customer that we cooperate with to narrow the bandwidth, to have more specialization in a specific field, and by standardization, lowering the price, improving the quality, and become a better player and a bigger player in your domestic market. But it also qualifies India for export in the future, because I not only see India grow as a domestic industry, but if you embrace the technologies that we can facilitate for specific markets, it also qualifies you to become a very strong export partner. So it works both ways, to my opinion.
See, what happens, we have our neighbor, China.
Yeah.
One of the largest manufacturing economy in the world.
Correct.
And I have very high regards for that country, which they have, what they have achieved in the last 30 years. But we also need to understand that, there are a lot of help which gone to that manufacturing, because their government have taken it as, they had created policies. They made that OEM driven manufacturing setup there.
Yes.
Now they set up and they have the market and they have captured the entire market.
Correct.
But when it comes to India, we have our own challenges. It is very difficult for government to come out with policies like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the biggest challenges today we are also facing,
Yep.
because China is able to give that price advantage because they have the volumes. Until and unless the volume is not there, we cannot compete with China.
No.
When it comes, again, India, it is completely, I believe, entrepreneurship driven economy.
Absolutely.
In the manufacture.
Yep.
It was certain individuals who were visionaries, who seen the opportunities, or multinationals who came and invested. I appreciate WEMO automation,
Yep.
because I'm sure that you are seeing the future of Indian marketing and coming now, starting and investing here.
Absolutely.
So same way, how do you think that you will be able to approach the market?
Well, the market approach is quite focused for us, because I like to talk with owners or managing boards or CEOs that have a clear vision about how the future will look like for their company. And in India's case, you need to look further than the coming 2-3 years. You need to look at 10, 15 years from now. Where do I want to be? What role do I play in the economy? Will I only be importing products, or will I be making products for the domestic market, or will I also be exporting? So looking at the current machine park that a lot of big companies have in India now, they might be sufficient for now. They might be sufficient for the next 2 years. You can add another panel bender, you can add another press brake, but then you will still reach the ceiling within a couple of years' time. So our solution actually is the next step in automation. It takes out the necessity to invest in more machinery that needs more people and more labor. It actually eradicates that, and it replaces that with a big line with high-level automation.
So what I'm understanding is that the companies or the people who would like to look at a global market,
Absolutely.
or transforming the domestic market, can look at collaborating with WEMO automation,
Yeah.
who will be able to support them in setting up a plant which can help them to take it to the next level.
Absolutely, and then I think the reaction instead of proactive behavior becomes really important. So whether you are reactive to what the market wants, or whether you are proactive and you basically take your audience with you in your own direction. And the latter part is the most important, because if you are always responding to what the market wants, you're always too late, right? You just facilitate what the people want. If you are proactive and you standardize your production process and you standardize your product offering, you're actually proactive, forcing people into making a very interesting choice for your own company. And I think that standardization and the proactive behavior of the companies, that's the companies that we would like to talk with.
You, as the CEO of WEMO Automation, also have seen many economies outside.
Yep.
What are the steps maybe the government or the industry bodies can also come together and take a decision? How they can move towards a standardization process?
You can approach it in different ways. I think the role that the government plays in this whole is quite significant. In any other part of the world that we also have installations installed, you see that the governmental impact on regulations is quite high, always from a safety perspective or from an economical perspective. So that's an important thing for India in general, to make sure that the government is aware of the future role of India as a whole. let's say doors, fire doors. The current regulations in place, the regulations are quite mild, they're quite soft. If you go to other parts of the world, you've got a higher standard in fire safety. That also helps you to improve your quality. It actually drives you to adapt new technologies to get to that quality level. So I think, again, the role the government plays in this whole is quite important. Secondly, I think if you look at the adaptation of this new technology, the people itself, so the companies, they also need to embrace new technology, and they need to vision what they need to do in order to get to that level of fireproofness or kind of quality that you want to deliver. So it's, first of all, it's the government, to my opinion. Secondly, it's the companies itself that needs to have a clear understanding of the vision that the people have in the country itself, combined with the vision of the company, that will lead to this new level of technology.
One thing what we have seen is in India, in different kind of automation. I will see it as a two phase. One phase before the pandemic, one phase after the pandemic.
Yes.
People were mostly looking at manual labors, comparing with the ROI, return on investments by the automation.
Yep.
And it never used to match. But after the pandemic, there was a major shift even from that time, because there were no people, and the people who have implemented automation earlier got benefited.
Absolutely.
Even after this pandemic, many companies have changed their process. And once the process was changed, there was a big reluctance of the skills to come and be part of it. So automation have taken a larger portion right now. E-commerce have increased.
Yes.
Now people are sitting at their comfortability and ordering products. The warehousing right now, there are a lot of requirement which is coming into that kind of area. I think you're talking about shelving.
Correct.
Making shelves or making warehouse, those storage.
Yep.
Is there any opportunities in that segment?
Yes.
Also, WEMO automation can offer some services?
I think in general, when an economy grows, when wealth is increasing, you can see it in Europe as well. People start ordering more online, and with online ordering systems, automatically comes warehousing or a sub-DC somewhere. And India is a huge country, so you need a lot of warehousing for sub-warehousing, and all these big warehouses need shelves. And we can make lines that can spit out a shelf every 4 seconds if you want. And given the volume that you need for this industry, for this economy, I think it's very wise for some of the companies in India that are involved in the e-commerce business to already think about how are we going to stock all the packages and all the parcels that we need to deliver to the people in India. And having a machine line that creates very quickly a big shelving production is a very wise investment, to my opinion.
Automotive used to be a very traditional sector what India had for time. A country like Japan, if their manufacturer is coming here and setting up, what they try to do is they bring all their ecosystem together, right?
Yep.
So that made a lot of Indian companies also taste these Japanese technologies, and they also started implementing that.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of your global customers are already there in India who is manufacturing now and exporting outside, and they are doing. Do you think that any such kind of companies can create a great market demand for WEMO automation in India?
Yeah, I believe so. It's also about standardization again. If you look at the larger companies that we are very proud of to work with, and in a lot of cases we are the heart of their production process, they also standardize their process. And it's basically a blueprint for how you look at a general effectiveness of a factory. And whether it's in Germany, in the United States, or India, the blueprint remains the same. So you can see these companies are also taking that technology, that wisdom, that knowledge, and also some of the advantages that they took out of it. They take it to India, which helps absolutely the company also to get a bigger footprint.
I was just looking at your website.
Yes.
There I also seen that you also offer used machines.
Yes.
Refurbished machines.
Yeah, we call them refurbished instead of refurbished. Yes.
Okay. WEMO, that is
the WE from WEMO.
Okay,
yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So, do you think that will be your focus to start with, maybe, or?
Initially, my thought was that if we offer a refurbished machine with a lower investment level, with a shorter lead time, it might be interesting and appealing for the Indian market. Assuming that maybe the investment level is not really at the point yet where we normally think a customer should be in other side of the world. But to my surprise, the technology that we deliver is very appealing to the Indian customers. So Yes, there is interest in refurbished machines, but the main interest goes to our new machines, because I also believe that a customer identifies with the technology that they embrace. And if you buy a second-hand machine, there's nothing wrong with it. We obviously always make sure that it's running perfectly and it's with the latest state-of-the-art technology. But a complete new WEMO machine actually is a step further. And as a company, I think you like to identify with the technology that you embrace. So I see a lot of interest actually for complete new WEMO lines now.
I believe it is not about the volume what WEMO automation is looking right now in India. It is all about finding out those people who would like to really take up the world market sitting here in India.
Yep.
And I think maybe next 5 years you are looking at 10 customers.
Maybe something like that. We are not a huge company, so the growth that we create comes from really deliberately stepping into a new market. And we don't step into a market to taste the water and then after 1 year find out it's nothing and leave again. We dedicate ourselves, in this case, to the Indian market. I believe that there's a handful of customers already now that we are talking to that might be able to place an order in the next year, because they have the vision, they have the dream, and they understand where they want to go with their company. So I think in a couple of years' time, selling 10 complete solutions would be a good start point.
2-3 things. The mass production, where right now we are having that big barriers in our mind.
Yes.
China is a country for mass production, India is not.
I disagree, but...
Yeah, I completely, because that is the general perception which we need to break.
Absolutely.
There are companies who are manufacturing in India and going outside.
Yep.
But the confident level of people who can come and invest, when they see that it is not the truth,
Correct.
the need of WEMO will be more higher.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that is something what we are also trying to tell. There is a huge opportunity there outside in the Indian market as well as in the international market.
Absolutely.
For international market already there, here what we need to do is maybe we need to really identify how we can bring standardization. We can talk, even we are from the city of Pune. And one of the biggest industry here is the real estate.
Yes.
If you will go and see that thousands and thousands of flats are getting created.
A lot of construction.
You talk about the doors, and there is a great opportunity of creating doors which is standardized. And if you are looking at India, only Pune I am talking about it, there is a huge demand.
Yep.
So it is a corporation or it is a kind of company which come together and make people understand there is a lot of value, time saving and creation of the business.
Absolutely.
The money also is there. If when people are able to understand that opportunity, I believe WEMO automation will be the first people who can help them to achieve that dream.
Absolutely. And it's not only the doors, as you mentioned correctly, it's also electrical enclosures, it's elevator, landing doors, panels, it's wall panels, it's ceiling panels, it's everything that needs to be shaped into a specific form with metal in a high accuracy at a high speed. That's something that we can facilitate. If the people learn to embrace that also India can be a high capacity, high productivity economy, then I think the future looks very bright.
I have one question to you. So basically what happens when we have that high volume thing? So you can make a particular component in a machine and you just make a lot.
Yes.
You cannot make that, a different model in that, right?
Yes, you can. It's a perception that a lot of people have from the old days. There used to be a market where there was high productivity against a very low flexibility, meaning that you have a limited amount of family products and per family member you make a lot of pieces. The other side was high flexibility, but because of the high flexibility you reduce a lot of the speed, so the productivity is very low. And WEMO has evolved obviously over the last decades, and we are still leading worldwide in the productivity, so our machines are the fastest in the world, but we combine it with high flexibility, meaning that if you look at the car industry, for example, it could be that 4 different models are in the same production line, all assembled at the same time, but the manufacturing process is standardized. You could see that same for WEMO. So our production process is standardized, but you can still have a single piece flow, meaning that a product of size A can be manufactured and product of size B can be manufactured in the same line.
So that means, for example, you don't have to just produce one kind of door only in your system. You can actually create 10 different kind of doors.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
also get the production, that volume also.
Yeah.
So that again will be a wonderful opportunity.
I think it's a misperception of the industry because WEMO definitely built up that thing, being very, very fast and that had to be combined with lower flexibility in the past. But nowadays technology actually enables us to be very flexible, yet remain very fast.
So Jeff, you are here in India with a new mission.
Yeah.
What is that?
I think it would be great that in a couple of years of now, we look back at this interview and we look at how we started in India with a clear mission to help the Indian economy grow, to automate it and to become less dependent on human interference and to actually propel the future of the company by embracing new technology. I also hope in a couple of years' time that the bigger companies in India, combined with governmental support, embrace new technology and believe in the future of this country. We believe in India as WEMO, and if India also starts believing in WEMO, I think we have a golden combination. We first need to start with the basics, meaning that you have people here in this country that are basically exploring the country, exploring the opportunities, know the right customers that are fit for our solutions. So we already hired a vice president of business development a while ago, somebody with very much experience in this industry. So he's been walking around for quite a while. He knows which customers are fit for our solutions, and that actually makes it much easier for us to find the right customers that we want to talk with. After that establishment, it's logical for us to also open an office here, meaning that we have a dedicated team of people here that can facilitate demand, that can actually adequately respond to specific questions that are active in the country. And thirdly, not importantly, having dedicated service people here, because the service is a really important part of our experience, of our relationship that we build with our customers. Having people here in India dedicated to servicing, even maintaining or troubleshooting the WEMO lines is part of the total investment.
So this is something I'm really a fan of, the European middle-sized company. They go and invest.
Yep.
They came to India, many companies came to India years without doing any business, but they came, had office, had people, talked to people, created trust.
Yes.
That is something I also want our Indian companies to adopt. If we need to expand, we need to go outside.
Yes.
Just going for an exhibition, you will not be able to make the market, but we need to go create these kind of opportunities, and that is the opportunity where we can also grow. This is something what I'm trying to take it from you, because I am understanding WEMO Machines is here not to sell a product right now.
No, I'm not in a hurry. It's a very delicate process, what you said, in gaining trust, in making sure that we really understand the issue of the customer and transform that issue into a solution. It takes time. I'm not in a hurry, but I'd rather start investing now to make sure that people know that we are here, also thanks to you and thanks to other channels. It's better for them to understand why we are here, and based on the knowledge that they have why we are here, they can make their own decision if we are fit for them. But I think we are here at the right moment with the right solution. And then I also believe in karma in a way. The energy that we send out at one point will come back at the right time with the right customer.
There are opportunities. There are
Always.
people who are doing business.
Yep.
But more than that, people don't know. You're just showing them a path.
Yep.
And that, Jeff, I believe I should thank you for trusting India. Well,
it's very easy to trust the people in India. The warmth and the hospitality and the kindness of the people has not changed in all those decades that I've been here for the last time. So it's very easy for us to find a connection with the customers. And I do believe trust is the foundation of a business relationship. Yes, it's about money. Yes, it's about performance. It's about an ROI. It's all the numbers that make up a decision. But initially, a decision is made in the gut feeling. Do I trust this company? Do I trust this person? Do I trust the salespeople of WEMO, the service technicians, with a very important part of my business, which is the core of their manufacturing process. So it's very easy for us to invest in India, actually.
Jeff, I don't know about others. I'm a very proud Indian, I believe in my country, I believe in my people. I have seen people who invested in technology. There were people who never knew how to use a automated machine, but they invested because they knew it will help them.
Yes.
There were Italian companies, there were Japanese companies, there were German companies who came and established and grown. And I am sure for WEMO Machines, creating such a success is not a long time to go. It will come very fast.
I hope so. I hope so. I think we're here for good reasons. We are here to stay, and we will do whatever we need to do to make sure that we find the right customers that we can collaborate with for a long time to come, and hopefully also experience the transformation of the country. I've seen the transformation myself, being here now, being here as a little 11-year-old boy, seeing India for the first time. And I think the exponential growth will actually be even more strong in the coming time. So how nice would it be if we can partner with the right companies and look back at the first time that you and I maybe talked to each other, the first time that we talked with the customer, and helping them really also reinvent themselves.
Now there are customers you are interacting with. Some may have visited to your Netherlands.
Yes.
You are coming here in India, you are meeting some of the people, and you also told earlier that people are always looking at a futuristic business, ready to invest in the new machines.
Correct.
Not just the used machine or anything like that. So how do you think that Indian manufacturing is going to respond to WEMO automation, and also when you are already ready to invest in India?
I think it will obviously take a little bit of effort from our side to convince people of our qualities and our added value. But we are very strong in building relationships. Our solutions last for decades. Our machines are not to be replaced after 10 years. Our machines last for 20, 30 years. We still have customers in the world that are running a machine that's more than 30 years old, and they know exactly how it should be operated and handled. So we build long-term relationships, and I think the customer intimacy that we try to develop with our customers is also the epiphany of who WEMO is. We are strong in understanding the problem that a customer might have. We are strong in delivering the solution that fits him at that point, but also in the future. And the circle is round, to my opinion, when the customer visits us, goes to customers that already are using WEMO, feels confident enough to put trust in us, because in the end I think it's also about trust. Do I trust this company with my core process? And when the trust is given and we can create a miracle solution for this customer and he sees it in real life in his own factory, the circle is round, to my opinion, and that's what we invest in. So we're not here to sell a lot of machines and leave a lot of customers dissatisfied with bad service or bad performance. I'd rather have 3-4 good customers that trust us and we can help them with their problem.
I believe you sure have a great plan and you trust India.
Yes.
And we are very happy that you are entering into a time where you are also celebrating your 60 years, which definitely have a lot. And we would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you for both the things, your 60 years as well as your entry into the Indian market. We would like to wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.
For India. For me, definitely, when I just started this interaction, my idea about WEMO automation, and right now my idea about WEMO automation is completely different. I believe we will have opportunities more to know more about WEMO automation and bring some of your solutions more in detail to the Indian manufacturing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and it's my pleasure to help the people here in India with their future endeavors.